Hello and welcome to another update video about MATIC. The MATIC chart continues to behave. The chart actually followed my primary scenario in yellow that a 5-wave move is unfolding here. That was the bullish scenario was the preferred scenario. I will take the white count of the chart. That was the bearish alternative. Would have really only become relevant in case the 64-cent level would have been broken to the downside. In the last few days and weeks, we talked about this wave 4 correction here. We observed a few different patterns, how the wave 4 could unfold. In all of these cases, a break to the upside was expected eventually, especially as long as this support level was holding. That was basically the level, 65 cents, to decide between bullish pathway and bearish pathway. A very clear level that allowed for some actionable, some trades really, a very actionable level, you could say. For example, the idea is always you can scale into these support zones. Would have been a possibility to set a stop, below that level, obviously, because below the 64-cent level, I would have stopped to trust the yellow count. But really glad to see this 5-wave move up. We've been talking about nothing else since, I don't know, middle of November or something. So this is looking good now because we've got 5 waves up off the September lows, indicating a completed leading diagonal pattern. Doesn't mean it has to be complete yet. It's basically nearly reached my ideal target here of $1.10, $1.11. So that was the idea as sort of a first target. Maybe it could stretch to $1.24. I mean, again, I don't want to call a top in place until we see a break of certain support levels. But now, obviously, the trade worked out, or the proposed trade, it's not even a proposed trade, I just share with you the levels. You have to decide if you trade breakouts, if you trade pullbacks, different ways of approaching this. But I can share with you the levels where trend reversals need to occur in pullbacks, basically, right? These are typically the lowest risk trades you can take, pullbacks in uptrends. Now, probabilities weren't very clear. I was leaning towards upside, but I mentioned to you that only really if we get 5 waves to the upside, probabilities get much clearer on this chart. What does that mean? That means that now this 5-wave move can be seen as a wave 1, and I'm watching for signals that a wave 2 could be starting at some point. Probably not yet, but if a pullback shows in wave 2, then we will use that information to add a support area to the chart. Now that we've that the price has invalidated the white count, what else could play out here? So I'm primarily looking at this as a leading diagonal. 5 waves up, we can work with that, add a support area to the chart. Once a pullback shows, that could be the breakout setup for a 3rd wave rally that could eventually, I mean, not within weeks, but in months or maybe 1 or 2 years, take the price to $10 approximately. That's sort of roughly an ambitious but realistic bull market target. It's of course possible that something different is playing out, maybe an even larger ABC structure, but even for that scenario, the pullback zone was relevant. That would be a bullish alternative probably, that we say, okay, we have 3 waves up in an A wave. Maybe this was a B wave, and we're now moving up in a C wave to the upside, but the microstructure doesn't really align with it. But if that was the case, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C wave and then get a deeper pullback, but it would allow for a more direct move to the upside. That's not what I'm leaning to. I would probably start to lean towards that if we get a break above $1.24. But for now, the trend that was proposed is playing out, and once a first pullback shows, from what we can see right now, it should be able to hold a higher low. If a pullback shows in wave 2, then the current support area would be between 58 cents and 81 cents. But likelihood suggests that the price could still push a little higher. So in that scenario, we would have to move up the support area as well. This would be a support zone for a wave 2, because after 5 waves up, typically a correction is needed to correct that price action. But yeah, for now, let's see how high it goes. What would be the micro support? So at what level, or what level would need to break for me to say that probably a top is in? For me, it would be this low. at 86 cents. This would be a key level for me, the last swing low. Once that level breaks, I would argue that a top has formed and that we're coming down. We could also use, but it's a little bit tricky. I mean, let's say the nearest support level I can give you, micro support really, is at 97 cents. A break below 97 cents would be a first early indication that a top is formed, confirmed with a break below 86 cents. Yeah, that's my update about MATIC. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.